Dude, I can't believe I played this game. It's so fucking terrible. Head Snatchers is such a bad game.
Tangerine!
Let's talk about Head
The old
Snatchers.
main switch.
Yeah, everyone's waiting for me to shit on Warcraft Reforged, but I'm here to talk about Head Snatchers, the actual
Yeah,
worst game ever.
yeah.
So I went for the Jimmy Neutron look. If you see on the left, that's my alien. You can design a head for it to be snatched. I don't have any footage of the multiplayer, but it's fucking terrible. It's really bad.
So this is the single player, though.
Yeah, this is the single player Head
Okay.
Snatchers. This game was given away free on like Humble Bundle or something, and I was like, oh, it's like a free party game. I'll try it out. And I was like, yeah, they couldn't give this game away for free. It was so fucking bad, dude.
Well, they gave it away.
I played it with Andy, and he played it for like 5 minutes, and then he uninstalled the game and removed it from his account. So
Oh my god. Okay.
it's this weird like. So the multiplayer itself, the entire mechanic is you're supposed to snatch somebody else's head off, but the head snatching itself feels terrible. But it's not like terrible.
Oh.
It's not like terrible in that Gang Beasts kind of where it's like, or like
It's meant to
Human
be
Fall
terrible,
Flat or something
yeah.
where it's like,
Yeah.
oh, it's these weird jelly physics and it's pretty funny. It's like, no, the game just mechanically feels terrible to play. Like it's not fun at all whatsoever.
So okay, I haven't seen it yet. So like you still heads?
Yeah,
I don't understand.
and your
I don't
head
get
can
this
get
game.
knocked off as well.
Right? Then what do you do? Oh god.
But I'm playing this
jumping
weird
looks awful.
platform. Yeah, the platforming is terrible, but it gets worse
Like-
because there's points where you have to snatch other people's heads, and at that point I was like, I don't know, I'm not playing this for anyone. Like, I'm playing this because I'm recording it, but I'm not playing any more of this shit. This is fucking
Yeah.
terrible. I'll skip forward. Some more.
I just want to see the snatching mechanic.
You have to
Just
try
the-
and shoot this guy. I'm trying to shoot him with a controller, and then I have to get past him. And then you start having to snatch their heads to get through the levels. That was level 1. And this is playing on easy, by the way.
So that was like a tutorial of just jumping.
Yeah.
What is this? They just made annoying platforms.
I was pretty fucking late. Naruto running around them. Go all the way up here, and then I think I fall off. So I have to do it again, and I was like, okay.
Yeah. So is the movements really floaty then? Is that why you're falling off?
Yeah, but
Okay.
the thing is,
It looks floaty.
your head can fall off, but then
What
your
the
body
fuck?
can try and find the head again to try and complete the level still. It's like a second life. But then a zombie ate my head, and I was like, oh, I'm dead.
What is the point of that?
Because you can put your head back on,
No,
Tony,
it's
like that. Because in the party arcade thing, you're supposed to snatch other people's heads, but it's a game called Head Snatchers, and the worst part is the head snatching part, which is the best way I could sum up why this game sucks. Like the actual head snatch, it may look okay, but trust me, playing the head snatching is clunky as fuck and feels terrible. It feels absolutely terrible.
It doesn't look okay to me at all.
Well, I can tell you, even if it did, it would look worse.
What the fuck? Just how did you head?
Quick head grab into the run out, but I can't because it's bugged. So I had to run out again, and then I lost my head.
For fuck's sake!
And then
I'm already annoyed.
Yep.
I'm not even playing.
I think I'll just skip later a bit. But this is the single player, which I guess they didn't have to add, but I mean, they didn't have to make the main game anyway, so to be honest with you. I'll see if I can skip to like one of the most annoying mechanics. There's these little platforms which in a good game would be kind of interesting to use the seesaw mechanic, but here
I'm not a big fan of the seesaw mechanic. I think it's overdone and not as good as people think it is. Well, I don't find it as good as other people seem to find it, personally.
But a nice little cutscene here. I guess I'm trying to save my Princess Peach. And then we go to these dark levels. The thing about 3D platforming is you kind of need a drop shadow so I know where I'm jumping.
Yep.
Or
it's
give
really
me,
hard to know where the fuck
or
you
if
are.
I'm playing a 3D, give me a double jump, and then it feels a lot better.
Why don't you have a shadow at all, though?
Because
like an indicator where you're going to land.
I can now dash now, which didn't. So here we go. Here's the most annoying mechanic. I have to shoot. I have to try and awkwardly aim this gun, shoot this guy. I think I have to drop the gun, take off his head, and then put it into this lantern, but it's so clunky that it's fucking impossible to do. So I'm having to shoot him, drop the gun, take up his head, try and pick up his head, and put it in this lantern. And I think I do it once, and then I get to like the next level, and it's like, right, now do this 3 times, and that's when I just said, fuck this recording. Fuck this fucking game. I can't.
Oh my god, was this like 9 minutes of gameplay and you gave up?
How long of me? Yeah, this is like 9 minutes of gameplay.
Yeah. Just, oh my god, okay. That seems
There's the first sacrifice, and then there's a room where it's like, oh, you need to do this head sacrifice thing multiple times.
No.
Warcraft Reforged. Here we go.
Yeah, much better. Okay,
I'm talking about Warcraft Reforged. I think I'm going to talk about the campaign first, because that's the area I spend the most time. I have played quite a few custom games, but okay. Everyone in the world has been saying, well, Warcraft 3 Reforged is the worst game ever. It's not the worst game ever. It's a decent game. It's a little disappointing they didn't give all the features that were promised, but I feel like people are actually review bombing the fuck out of this game just to make a point, less than the actual game itself being bad.
Like the misleading ad campaign. But yeah.
I mean, if you want to play through the Warcraft 3 campaign in a HD version of it, Warcraft Reforged is pretty good, to be honest with you.
Yeah, but there's also loads of ways they've implemented this which they didn't need to do. They could have just made it because, like, can you play the original Warcraft, or does this replace it?
So, yeah, you can still play the original Warcraft 3, but I believe it required like a big 30 gigabyte patch, so you could. So the way they wanted to do it was that if people were playing the original Warcraft and people playing on Warcraft Reforged could play together at the same time, because they wanted to do that. So one person could be playing, like it's like what they're doing with Overwatch, where Overwatch 1 players and Overwatch 2 players can play at the same time, but then Overwatch 2 has the HD graphics sort of thing and the single player. So it seems to be what Activision Blizzard wants to do right now. I don't know.
So that still all works then, okay.
But like some of the, I do agree, like the UI is fucking terrible.
That is awful.
It was running on like No, I'm not talking about this. I'm talking about the main menu UI. This is
awful as well, though.
Yes, but this is like Warcraft 3 UI that you're.
But it's not been scaled for resolution.
I don't know. So I'm just doing this is the human campaign. I've done this a million times.
Okay. So you're playing as Arthas.
Yeah, my boy Arthas. Nothing bad happens if you haven't played Warcraft or you've never seen any Warcraft media. Nothing bad happens to Arthas at all in the next 20 years. He's completely fine.
He's the best king.
Yeah, he goes on to become the best king of Lordaeron, and nothing else happens.
That's why everyone loves him.
Have a look. So basically, if you don't know, spoiler alert, the story of Arthas is, the human campaign is, you're fighting the undead who are spreading a plague through the grains, and I think Arthas is one of the best stories of Warcraft, as well as Illidan, within the Warcraft lore, because he has such morally grey choices. He's not a straight up good guy, and he's not a straight up bad guy.
Because he's the best of what he's got.
Basically, what's happening is the Scourge are putting plague in the grains. So what Arthas does is he's going, well, the people who've ate the infected grains, they're going to die anyway, and then they're going to become more powerful, and they're going to kill us. We should kill them while they're still, infected humans, because then they can't fight back.
Makes sense.
It makes sense, but after seeing this, Arthas turns his back on him. He then goes crazy, he then goes a bit crazy for power because he wants to go after Mal'Ganis the Dreadlord in order to kill him because he's behind all this. He then wants power. He then goes and gets Frostmourne, and then he gets very far gone at that point because he kills his friend in order to get the power of Frostmourne. And then I think this is the original cutscene. They didn't change this, but as he becomes mad and becomes the Lich King, between you finishing the human campaign and the undead campaign, he walks off into the snow, and there's just a roll of text that goes, Arthas went mad, he's now the Lich King. And I was like, they could have added a cutscene there, like a cool fucking Blizzard cutscene. They have the original. They have the original CGI for Thrall, and if you haven't seen it, it's so fucking goofy. Like they said they were gonna remake cutscenes and stuff, which
I think that's what people are most angry about, what I can tell.
But then they were like, "Oh, we're gonna make a separate campaign that goes more into WoW continuity." And I was like, "Oh, we can have the original campaign and then the different WoW one." They never did it. They also redesigned like 1 or 2 levels. So there's they redesigned the Culling of Strathome, which is the one I was talking about, where you go and you go and kill the plague.
Can I ask a legitimate question? What did they actually change other than the graphics?
Yeah. So
what is actually different? Because at the moment you're telling me how good Warcraft 3 is with the new Warcraft Reforged graphics are. What else is
right? There's custom skins.
Okay.
That you can get if you purchase the special edition.
Okay.
Like, thank God. So if you go into custom games, you can have like female demon hunter instead of like Illidan, I think.
Is that the second main feature of this report?
Yeah, but I think people just wanted HD Warcraft 3. They didn't want change. It was like WoW Classic. They didn't want changes.
No,
right?
but I think some people are really cool cinematics.
The problem was they removed some of the stuff that was in the original Warcraft 3.
Oh my God, what?
Some of like the ladders and stuff in multiplayer.
Oh,
like
okay.
Basically, they said they already removed it from the original Warcraft 3 because nobody was playing it. So,
but why is this such a big thing? Why couldn't there just been an update for the original Warcraft 3 with the new textures that you could turn on or off?
Why would they?
Why did this have to be such a big thing?
Why the fuck would they not sell a new game? They're Activision Blizzard.
Because there's nothing in this other than some art assets. Admittedly, it takes time to do assets. I don't want to like go, art assets don't.
The way they made this, if you don't know, so Warcraft 3 engine, they used that to make World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
And then over the years, they improved World of Warcraft to make it a really good engine. So what they did for Warcraft Reforged is they like backported the World of Warcraft engine to make a good running Warcraft 3 engine.
Right.
That could still interact with the original Warcraft 3 engine because it was based on it.
So like legacy sports to the new. Yeah, that makes sense.
But like the Culling of Strathome's, like the layout's different. Sylvanas has a much bigger role. Like she has a named unit, which is more to kind of tie into WoW continuity to show how she is really important in World of Warcraft, but not so much in the Warcraft story.
Is she that? Is she important but not that interesting, right? In the World of Warcraft.
She's like the main character in World of Warcraft right now.
Yeah,
she is the main character.
But is she interesting though?
No, because she's not morally grey like Illidan or Arthur. She's just evil for no reason.
They're being
that's World of Warcraft. That's not Warcraft 3.
No, okay.
But what I'm saying, like one of the biggest ones is in the Undead campaign, right? You're playing as the undead, and the thing is, you need to use these zeppelins to get across because they destroy the bridge, the elves, to stop you from getting to the Sunwell. So the thing is, you have to use. You're having to use. Skip these options. You have to use these zeppelins to get across water because otherwise your units won't be able to get across. So I was like, it's teaching you that you can't just get around these bridges. You need these zeppelins from the merchants. And then the very next mission, they added a section where when you're going to kill one of the elf leaders, he just creates an ice bridge and walks across it. And that's a new added feature. And I'm like, what the fuck? If we could create ice bridges, Death Knight style, why the fuck did we use those zeppelins? Why didn't we just make an ice bridge?
Don't think about it. Yeah, that's a bit weird. So they've added like weird continuity errors, basically.
Yeah,
in the additions.
But it's only like a couple missions. Like they didn't like completely redesign the game. They were just like, let's sprinkle 1 or 2 missions because they showed off like the demo. Culling of Strathome was the big one where they were showing off the demo, and they were people were saying like they downgraded the original BlizzCon demo, right?
Yeah, that's when that's when they were using. They're still using for promotion stuff as well.
But I still think if you want to play through Warcraft 3, this is still a
Yeah.
good HD version of
for sure.
Warcraft 3.
So my
I don't understand.
interpretation of this entire thing is like it is ridiculously disappointing, but it isn't the worst thing ever made.
No, and I don't think it is to like you look at a game like Fallout 76, and this game's rated lower than that, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like,
I would rate this a 5, not like a 1.
Because think about how ridiculously broken Fallout 76 is. This game has a few bugs that they've done 2 patches for. Like, they're actively like super fixing, like, and they're not game breaking bugs a lot of the time. Like, some of the custom games were, but I've played custom games and I haven't had that many issues since the patch. So, you know, I don't know.
I don't know how you would ever like. How would you show like you're disappointed in something, but not like it's like absolutely a bad game? Like, how would you ever denote? Because that's kind of difficult with reviews.
Refunds.
Yeah.
You have to hear more. They were offering free refunds for this. Because people were so
they weren't
disappointed.
Originally.
But they did eventually.
Yeah, they did eventually when people started going, yeah, we're gonna get the Australian courts on you.
Because I do think it was disingenuous that they promised so much and then they didn't deliver on some of it.
Yeah, you hit them where it hurts with refunds. You actually like where the money is.
You know, like I'm pretty like I'm not a Blizzard. I'm not a Blizzard fanboy sort of thing, because you've seen what my stance on like the Hearthstone stuff and like. Yeah. And I've called out Blizzard on the direction they've been going, right? But I think this is just...
This isn't as bad.
This isn't as bad. This isn't... No. This is just like... what's the word? Very vocal minority has made it to a point where people are just going around abusing Metacritic to a point where everyone's like, oh, it's the worst game of all time. And I'm like, it's nowhere near the worst game.
The thing about Metacritic
it's still a pretty good... I will stand by the statement. I think Warcraft Reforged is a decent game.
It's a good way to play original Warcraft. I would say, saying to Metacritic, we don't actually know how many people have Metabomb, because you can create as many accounts as you want.
And I have people like my friend Matt. He's saying like, oh, I don't know if I should get Warcraft Reforged because all the stuff I read online, and I'm like, it's like I'm saying to him, the game itself is fine. You should play it.
Does this cost anything though?
Yeah, it costs like 15, 20 quid.
Cost? Okay, that's fine.
It's not that expensive.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. That's worth the money, I think.
Like they priced it up so it was like a cheap. Like they did the same thing with the really excellent Brood War original StarCraft remaster, right?
Okay. Well, it's currently £25.
Yeah, it's somewhere around there.
I don't think it's worth 25.
Okay.
I'd pay 15. I could get the Spoils of War edition for 35.
There was a few like shadow bugs and stuff that they fixed if you were playing in the original classic version as well. But like a lot of the stuff's been fixed, and
yeah, let's patch now.
I'll show. I guess I'll show some orc gameplay. Humans are always my favorite.
Yeah, well, Arthur's is.
But like, if you see here, this is still like the original. This is still like the original cutscenes. Which some of them are really fucking cool and I wouldn't want to change, but other ones I'm like,
absolutely.
This looks so dated. Like Blizzard's always been amazing at making cutscenes and stories and stuff.
So I think people just wanted the bad ones to be improved.
Like the Thrall waking up in the middle of the night. You have to look that one up because that one's hilarious.
Okay.
So there's Medivh, the Raven. So this is the iconic one where you have like the human and the orc fighting, and you have like the necromancer summoning infernals and stuff.
Jesus, it's been a while.
Yep. There's your boy Thrall, the original CGI.
We've come a long way.
But this was like 2004. Like this was I remember looking at this and I was like, this is fucking amazing. This is like Project Milo level kind of,
Yeah, well, it still sort of works. It's not like it's not terrible.
Basically, the story is if you don't play Warcraft 3 and you want to, quickly learn.
Yeah, because like if this was because for me this is almost perfect for me because like I'd be willing to play this if it is a little bit because like it has the improved graphics and I can actually play through the story.
Well, I hate RTS games. This game's fantastic. I love this game. I'd play through this game. Yeah.
You're
I
playing
almost failed
all the
one.
campaigns on
I
PS4.
almost soft locked myself out of one mission because I ran out of gold, but I managed to do it. It was an undead
Okay.
mission where you're breaking into the like Sunwell area, and it's pretty difficult, but I managed to get through it. I think the first time I played Warcraft 3, I played with cheats on. I would just spam greed is good, and
Oh,
there
okay. So
is
you
no
just
spoon. I think was the other one, and you would just get like I'd give myself tons of gold and lumber. Like when I was younger, I used to cheat and all. Like I played through the original Half-Life 2 with cheats. I played through um, Warcraft 3 with cheats. So
they're too hard.
yeah, too hard.
Yeah, I think I understand. Like, you can play any game where you want to, right?
Yeah, but I
It
was
shouldn't
playing
feel
through.
bad.
I've played through it on without cheats this time, and I haven't failed any mission so far. So far so good.
You're,
I have
you're
the thing
better.
is
You're better.
like I'm building things so my APM is so low in this game. It's like I'm just gonna build something over here, and then I'll slowly move this unit across. The Orc campaign is the tutorial campaign. This is the first campaign, and one thing I didn't. You said 25 quid's too much, Tony.
Yeah.
One thing you should realize is it comes with the expansion as well. And the
Oh, okay.
expansion
That's fair.
to
That's fair.
Warcraft was like an entirely another game.
Yeah. Like, they even wrote
It,
a story, right?
yeah, the Frozen Throne. It goes into the
They
Blood
are old.
Elves.
Okay, that's fine, but they are old
Mm.
expansions. I didn't have to do much to them
To me, it seemed like a fair price. So
because surely all they've done is repackage and redone all the assets and the game in the new engine.
I like that you could just attack random buildings, and it's not useless. Sometimes there is like items hidden in neutral buildings, so it is worth to just kill random buildings.
Is that advice for everyone or just orcs?
No, everyone. Everyone can.
Okay,
You
okay.
can kill friendly units. As the humans, you can kill children if you just go run around.
What?
Yeah, you can attack any friend. You can attack any friend. It's an old RTS mechanics. You can attack friendly units. You can attack neutral units. You can go around killing sheep
Oh,
if you want.
yeah. You should always be able to attack
You can
friendly units in
roleplay
any
as the Lich
RTS.
King in fucking disguise and just start killing humans early.
Yeah. Okay.
The basic idea of if you never played Warcraft, the basic idea is you build a town hall. You then get your units to gather lumber, and your units then go into the gold mine and get gold, and that's how you get your resources. Different races have different abilities. So, for example, night elves. They don't actually destroy the trees because they're attuned to nature. They have the wisps, and the wisps circle around the tree and collect gold, so collect lumber, so you don't actually have to destroy the trees.
That's pretty
Cool. And all their buildings are also fucking creatures. So if you want to move one of your buildings, you can make them stand up and then move somewhere else and then root back
That's
in because they're all
amazing.
giant
Oh my
trees.
god.
Orcs
I
are
want to see that.
very orcs are very like skirmish heavy. They can build early the arrow towers, the watchtowers. If you attack them, they can send all their peons into the burrows and they'll shoot arrows out at you. Humans are very good at like defense. They can build like very powerful towers, stuff like that. Undead's very interesting. You play the Undead campaign third. Undead can only build on corrupted land, and they don't need to go in and out of the gold mines to make a building. They summon it. So
Oh,
you
okay,
have
right.
these zealots sort of things, and you basically left click and they'll start building the building, and then you can go off and build another building. So their kind of gameplay is you need to corrupt a lot of land, and then you can build stuff really quickly, sort of thing.
I like the Zug of.
And also with the undead, their worker units are also the basic melee units, the ghouls. So they gather wood, but you can
Oh,
also
okay, so you
use
get
them as like soldiers.
yeah.
Yeah, I talked about all the races now. I think right: humans, night elves, undead, and orcs. Because there's 4 races. So if you played
Yeah.
World of Warcraft, you might be a bit confused. But there's only 4 races in
The
Warcraft
pandas.
3, and they're all at war. Because throughout the story, because if you play World of Warcraft, you're like, oh, there's the Alliance and the Horde doesn't exist. There's no factions. The Night Elves hate each other. The Orcs hate each other. The humans hate the Night Elves. They all hate each other, sort of thing.
The way it's supposed to be.
But basically, Medivh goes around and says, there's an apocalypse coming. they're summoning the Burning Legion. You guys need to work together. So at one point, the orcs and the humans and the night elves all work together. So I know. I'll talk about custom games
see that
and
in
then
the story then.
end this. Okay, so I was playing like what was it? This was Hero Line Wars.
Right.
So I played a bunch of custom game modes. I think this is mostly. Oh, I had no fucking. I always pick Space Marines when I played Warcraft 3 custom games, because I always thought Space Marines were cool, but I never had StarCraft, so I'd always pick the custom Space Marine unit and play as that.
As someone who's played StarCraft, I'd want to play more of the
yeah, but I never. I always thought I always
that is an orc
Marines.
in a Space Marines though.
Sorry.
That's an orc in a Space Marine suit. What the hell?
An orc?
Is that an orc? Or is that just a really buff human?
That's a human.
What?
How are you saying an orc?
Massive jaw.
That's a human. That's a human.
Okay.
I don't know how you're saying orc.
Humans just have it's huge jaw. You'll see.
No.
He's half orc, half human.
He's human.
Half orc.
I don't. Is this model from StarCraft 2? I don't actually know.
I don't know.
Also, when I'm playing Warcraft 3 custom games, I have no fucking idea what I'm doing because I haven't played these in like fucking 20 years or something. So, well, probably not. Probably like 15 years or something. So usually what will happen? Well, you probably have to ask people for help, and from my experience, most of the people have always helped me, and they haven't. Okay. They've been quite nice about it. So I think we like immediately lose this. Because I was like,
oh, okay. So what? Okay.
This one's pretty interesting. This one's a tower defense game, but the idea is you're not killing the waves. You're buffing them to then go fight the enemy team's wave in the middle. I'm asking for help because I'm like,
where am I?
So you build gold mines to get more gold. We're healing them at the moment. I'm on armor duty. Right. So I'm building up, giving them more armor. And you can like focus fire on specific units. Because once you heal a unit, it's like a reverse tower defense. So once you get a unit to full health, you can then upgrade that unit. So I think at some point I build like a mage tower. And then once we've fully healed a unit, I'll turn one into a mage. And then we turn one into an archer. And then,
cool.
So at the start, they're very much like you send in a bunch of footmen. You're just trying to give them armor and heal them. And there's also damage towers to increase their damage.
Yeah.
But then eventually, you can build like captains and stuff once you've fully healed a unit. It's pretty interesting.
So but where do they get summoned from?
Just from the right.
Okay, they just walk out. Okay.
Yeah, like a tower defense game.
Yeah. Okay. So then you have to heal them, then buff them, then upgrade them.
I played like a fucking go-kart racing game. I played like a kart racing game on this, yeah. Like there's so many custom games that people already made in Warcraft 3 and are, porting over sort of thing. You see like the blue aura guy, that's the captain sort of thing, and he's like giving people bubbles. We're healing them up.
It does look like you're trying to kill them, but
no. I think basically for the coding of the game, they need to kind of be your enemies for the towers to hit them.
Yeah.
And then, but actually, they're our allies, and we're then going to use them to fight the opposing. Basically.
Oh, and they're then going to attack each other. Oh, okay, that's cool.
Yeah, they fight in the middle, and then whoever wins then goes to attack the enemy's like nexus sort of thing.
Yeah.
Which has 2 towers, and you can choose a race for your tower. So I think we have hydras, and I think they have ogres, maybe. So yeah. All right. I think that's all we got to say, though. So I think
those are the custom games.
Custom games of Warcraft 3 have always been awesome. So all right. Well, that's Head Snatchers, and Warcraft Reforged isn't actually that bad. I think it's actually pretty good. So
I forgot about Head Snatchers. Don't ever bring up Head Snatchers.
Don't ever bring up Head Snatchers again. Okay. Goodbye.
Bye.